And good morning and welcome back. We are live from Las Vegas at the Venetian celebrating 30 years for CEREC, and I have probably very easily, wouldn't you agree, the most beautiful board of folks this morning ever. It's always been guys. I think this is the first time I had a table of ladies and one guy. Starting with Alicia Meheljic-Sofinski, Helen Han, Kassandra Braun, Dena Lanier, and Rendon Chambers. It's so nice to see you all so early and so fresh and so bright.
Thank you.
We're going to be talking about the marketing for dental laboratories. And let's start off with Kassandra, for instance, the importance of developing a good brand that leads to proper and effective marketing.
Yeah, for a lot of labs, they're not really business people. They're not used to thinking about that side of the business. And so what's really important for them is to try to put together an idea of where they want to go. And then from there, work backwards toward how they're going to get there and put together a strategy of who they want to be and make sure that all of their communications are consistent and help show who that is. If you want to be a digital lab who's really, for instance, an implant lab, you want to make sure that all of your communications are leading toward that. And it can be a struggle for them to make sure that they think about that side of the business and not only focus on making beautiful products.
Okay, so that's a really great idea to give us all a moment to think about it. Their specialty is one thing. It's hard to expect them to know the importance of great marketing, right? Their purpose is to make a great tooth. So what have you found, what any of you have learned over the years, how you can help them be better at that aspect?
I find that most labs, like you pointed out, are they're artists. They're not business minded, and so what I'm able to do, for example, with our lab and for some of the different educational seminars we put on, is help these people realize, hey, I need to go find a sales rep, I need to go find a marketing person, or I need to outsource that to maybe a consulting group to find out what is that niche, what is that one thing that my lab does that another other lab can perform, and that's what I need to sell to these doctors. It's not just about making pretty teeth. Anyone can make a pretty tooth, and it's about what can I provide more to the doctor? What solution can I provide? And how do I get my name and the specialty in which my lab performs at in front of the offices?
And I think, too, that because we can't market to the general public, but there's 150,000 plus dentists just in the United States alone that we can market to. So I think that laboratories a lot of times forget that part of it, and so I think a lot of it is that we have to let the labs know, hey, you can go out there and market. You can, find out what your customer's looking for, and then you market that to that particular customer, whether it be male or female or what they're looking for. If it's implants, a lot of times I think that because we live in our lab world, we don't think outside of that lab box in the fact that they don't know, a lot of times the dentists don't know what to ask us. So we have to ask our customers, what is it that you want to do and how do you want to build your practice? Be partners with us. We can help you along the way.
I agree with a lot of the marketing gurus here, but I want to just add a little bit to it. I think success of a dental laboratory marketing really comes from a focus of your business, going back into your business, right? And looking at your business and where are you happy most? Providing what type of solution to your customers. And once you find that answer, to focus on that, create marketing strategies, whether it be websites, whether it be reaching out to doctors and creating a party for them, for their patients to grow their practice, right? And in return, it grows your laboratory. So I believe that coming up, it's very crucial for a laboratory to just come up with that one simple solution, that makes them happy, and at the same time, it creates a success for their customers, doctors.
Lisa?
I totally agree with all of you, and I believe also that, it's really hard. We're creative people, we're hands-on people, but it's all about knowledge. It's about sharing what we know with other people, and I truly believe if we step out and if you share what you know about what you do, I think people will appreciate it and they will share what they know. Having a background in education, I believe that we gotta step out there and educate each other. And I think that's a valuable that comes from Sirona, and just like other people mentioned, we speak the same language.
Sure.
Why not educate patients about it? Why not educate other people about what our passions are? And truly, we do have passion.
Yes.
I sense that. I sense that system-wide. What do you think are some of the biggest challenges that are faced in your business? Some of the biggest hurdles that you have to leap over in order to get your specialty seen and heard and understood?
I think it's the movement. You know how our market, our industry actually, is moving towards digital.
Yes.
And kind of, there's a lot of labs out there that want to stay hands-on. And that's great. That's great. That's what they're good at. But I really do believe that, they should look at what's out there, look at all their options, all this technology, and see if they can just evolve with the market, the industry, where it's going.
I agree with
I think
Helen.
it's-
I think that if you don't look at what's out there, whether you start on a small scale, you may not be around for the next turn of what's going to be available. And your doctors may leave you, and you may not even know why, because you haven't asked that question. What did they want?
Sure.
I look at it this way. My brother and I opened a lab about 3 years ago, and I have I had no lab background whatsoever. Didn't know what a posterior from anterior was, but because of the Sirona system and the ability to go all digital, and we opened up 100% digital, and we were able to offer a solution to doctors in the market area that we're at that no one else had. And we've been able to grow it exponentially because of that, because we found a niche and we were able to excel very well with the software. And we were able to get out there and we learned and we, scraped and you really put a lot of effort into it. But because of the software and what Sirona provides, we were able to become as large as we have become over the last 3 years. Our first year we did around 375. This year we're on target for 1.5, and that's 3 years ago that we opened.
Wow.
So I think, with the inLab system itself, you're marketing to doctors. And the trends, if you look at the trends, more and more doctors are going digital. So are you going to be on a platform that supports them? Or are you going to try to go with some other CAD/CAM system that, hey, the dental world liked it, but doctors aren't on board with it?
Right.
I'm sorry. I believe that also Sirona and getting into inLab system changed our life in general. We were stuck in that old age. Both of my husband and I were dental technicians, and the life in lab was getting to be boring. So with getting into system and getting to know all these wonderful people and exchanging our opinions and knowledge, it just brought so much difference and excitement, not just in the lab world, but just in life general. But I believe also that it's hard, like you said, there's some people that are truly believing in traditional way, and then there's a digital way. So if you can find, and we constantly go back and forth, but if you can find that happy medium where you can implement that beauty and aesthetic and artistic with this technology, it's just win-win situation.
Right.
I think that's great for marketing and true with marketing as well, because marketing has been traditional for so long, and now it's becoming so very digital, and that's a big change also, because a lot of people think marketing is putting an ad in a magazine, and there's so much more to it now with the internet and social media, which are both very big with the dental lab techs and the dentists. So it's very important for the labs to have a digital strategy as well, and not just putting ads in the local magazines for the doctors to see.
It is very impressive to see how much the dentists and technicians and clinicians have really embraced all social media and marketing. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful and handsome group, and especially so early in the morning. I know we're all trying to rally, so thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And we're going to take a short break and return with more as we have continuing coverage of CEREC 30 here at the Venetian in Las Vegas. Stay with us.
Thank you.